Let's talk about 4 signs that will show if a strategy is wrong. First, your strategy is having a ton of buzzwords. If your strategy is talking about disruption, innovation, change management, and a ton of other buzzwords without real meat and content behind it, most likely it's very inflated and it's not really telling what it should be an actionable strategy for your company to implement. Second, your strategy is actually missing the real problem that your product has to actually be successful. It can be either one problem or several problems. You might have different strategies for those different problems, obviously, as you can have several different strategic intents in your company. But if you have not identified those challenges that get you to the vision, to the goal that you want to have with your products or your services, then you're doing it wrong. And don't concentrate just about the product itself. Concentrate and think about the adoption of that product in the current status out there. Because it might be that you're bringing a good solution, but it might be that people cannot really adopt it. So probably one of the best examples that comes to my mind is Tesla with the supercharger network. Teslas and EVs back then, even when Tesla started, they were already a thing. The problem with the adoption of EVs was that there was not a good network to charge those cars. Same thing can happen to other products. If you bring a product that is disruptive, that is using new technology, but that technology is not widely adopted for people to actually start benefit from it, then you have a problem. You have to figure out how you're going to solve it. Number 3 is that you are mistaking your goals for a strategy. If you want to grow every year 20%, 30%, 50% revenue, customer, whatnot, that's a goal. That is not a strategy. Number 4, having a strategy that really doesn't set action. You have to make sure that your strategy is not just a strategic goal, but you have to follow it up with how you are going to actually implement it and how is this going to bring value to your customers, how it's going to solve those problems, those roadblocks that they have, which otherwise are not going to make your product successful. This is why you have to make sure that either within your strategy or as part of the follow-up work of your strategic, workshops, you really had to make sure that you are setting what are going to be those follow-up work that you had to do to not just set a strategy, but execute on that strategy. And a bonus tip, if you have done this, then you can go ahead and start setting up your goals. You can start setting up your OKRs, your KPIs and whatnot that are going to make sure that that strategic intent that I want to or that I need to do or to have, this is something that I'm going to follow up with certain OKRs or certain KPIs that are going to help me tracking that problem and see that I am actually, or if I am actually improving on that problem that my customers have, and if the problem is actually solving by the efforts that I'm putting in the strategy over time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I create a lot of content related to products and strategies and how to create businesses around them. Several of these mistakes that I just talked about are mentioned in the book Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, which is, I think, a really great book that covers what is a strategy and how to define a strategy and how not to define a strategy, what is a wrong or a bad strategy. If you're interested in hearing more about the content of that book and hearing a review, I will put a link here. Go check it out. I will see you in the next one, and remember, stay safe.